The Student Support Grant is a lifeline for students at Victoria University. The world is into its third year of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we'd all be familiar with the sacrifices that many international students make to be in Australia. For an international student who's struggling, Victoria University's student support grants can buy food, groceries, you can pay for Wi-Fi, and all this helps them to keep on studying or help them pay their rent. G'day and welcome to this International Student Life. We tell stories and our story is international student education. Today we're shining a spotlight on student life in Melbourne. We know that life can be tough for international students, and it has been over the last couple of years. Today we're bringing you a story from Victoria University, and we want to introduce you to Quay. She worked in the student wellbeing team at Victoria University for nearly 30 years. Can you believe that? She was the person students could go to when they needed a helping hand, and she was saying that she thinks it was hard for those students who needed help over the last couple of years. It's hard enough already to make an appointment to see a welfare worker, and her office was right at the front door, and students could see her face, and that would give them the confidence to go in and share their story, especially if times were tough, that they were having trouble making ends meet, let alone do their study. And Quay knows what it feels like to need a friendly face. She came to Australia herself as a refugee from Vietnam, and she enrolled in Victoria University to learn English way back in 1979. Can you believe that? Back when it was known as the Footscray Institute of Technology, and she never left. She obviously loved it. And she goes on to say that because of what she'd been through as a refugee, she knew that her experience settling into life in Melbourne as an international student, oh, never mind that, she was a refugee, come on. She knew her experience could help other people. Well, if you're inspired by that story about Quay and the great initiative by Victoria University with their student support grants, and you want to help make a difference, well, guess what? You can do that. You can contact Victoria University and give a VU student a lifeline today. Now, all you've got to do is click the link below in the description. You'll get sent straight through to Naomi Dempsey, the Chief Student Officer at Victoria University. She's waiting to take your call. Her email is advancement@vu.edu.au. And we'll have more stories about people making a difference in the lives of international students in Melbourne coming throughout the rest of 2022. If you'd like to share your story with us and how you've been coping as an international student over the last couple of years, maybe you were stuck in Australia and you couldn't go home, or maybe you did go home and you couldn't get back until the borders opened this year, we'd love to hear your stories, or even if you just want to drop a comment below. Wise Words Media is always looking for great stories about international students in Melbourne, and we're always keen to share any story of any student here that we think might be helpful to those. You might be currently overseas just trying to decide whether to come to Australia. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and we'll chat to you soon. This International Student Life is produced by Wise Words Media. This episode contains nil paid promotions. All information in this episode is taken from sources available to the public in the public domain. Wise Words Media accepts no responsibility for any errors or omissions of information in this episode.